Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop? You're trying to do something good, something you feel called to do, but every time you try, things just get worse? You pray, you push, you persevere, but the situation only seems to dig its heels in deeper. If you've ever felt that way, then Exodus chapter 6 is for you. Let's set the scene. Moses has just had his big moment. He saw the burning bush, he heard the voice of God, and he was given this incredible mission. Go to Pharaoh, the most powerful man in the world, and tell him to let God's people go. So Moses, along with his brother Aaron, musters up all his courage. He marches into the royal court, stands before Pharaoh and delivers the message, "Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, let my people go." And what happens? It's a total disaster. Pharaoh basically laughs in his face. He says, "Who is the Lord that I should obey his voice?" Not only does he refuse, but he punishes the Israelites for even asking. He tells his taskmasters, "You're no longer going to give them straw to make their bricks. Make them gather their own straw." But they still have to produce the same number of bricks as before. Think about that. Their workload just got exponentially harder. Impossible even. The Israelite foremen who are caught in the middle get beaten. They are furious. And who do they blame? Not Pharaoh. They blame Moses and Aaron. They find them and say, "You've made us a stench to Pharaoh. You've put a sword in his hand to kill us." So Moses, who was just on a spiritual high from his encounter with God, is now completely crushed. He did exactly what God told him to do, and the result was more suffering for the very people he was trying to save. He goes back to God, and his prayer is raw, it's honest, it's a why prayer. "Oh Lord, why have you brought trouble upon this people? Is this why you sent me? Ever since I went to Pharaoh to speak in your name, he has brought trouble upon this people, and you have not rescued your people at all." Can you feel the weight of that? The disappointment, the confusion, the feeling of failure. This is where Exodus chapter 6 opens. It doesn't open with a miracle. It opens with a complaint. It opens with human brokenness in the face of divine silence. And God's response is one of the most powerful and reassuring moments in the entire Bible. He doesn't scold Moses for his doubt.
He doesn't say, "Just have more faith."
Instead, he meets Moses right there in his despair, and he does something profound. He reintroduces himself. He says to Moses, "I am the Lord." In Hebrew, that's Ani Wewe, the name, the personal covenant name of God. He's reminding Moses who he is. He then gives this incredible "I will" speech. Listen to this series of promises. "I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians. I will deliver you from slavery to them. I will redeem you with an outstretched arm and with great acts of judgment. I will take you to be my people, and I will be your God. I will bring you into the land that I swore to give to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. I will give it to you for a possession. I am the Lord." It's a cascade of divine commitment. God is essentially saying, "Moses, you're looking at the current circumstances. You're looking at Pharaoh's power and your people's pain. I want you to look at me. Remember who I am. My identity is your security. My promises are your future." He's anchoring Moses not in the shifting sands of the situation, but in the unshakable rock of his own character. But here's the twist. Moses takes this powerful, encouraging message back to the Israelites, and what's their reaction? The text says, "They did not listen to Moses because of their broken spirit and harsh slavery. They were too beaten down, too exhausted, too traumatized to even hear a word of hope. Their pain was a wall that God's promises couldn't seem to penetrate." And then, if that wasn't enough, God tells Moses, "Go tell Pharaoh to let the Israelites go." And Moses' response is so human. He says, "Wait a minute. The Israelites wouldn't listen to me, a man of uncircumcised lips," as he puts it. Why on earth would Pharaoh listen to me? He's completely deflated. He feels inadequate, rejected by his own people, and now he has to face the most powerful man on earth again. The chapter ends with a genealogy, a list of names. It seems random, but it's not. It's God pausing the story to say, "These are real people. This isn't just a legend. This is the family tree of the men, Moses and Aaron, that I have chosen to use despite their doubts and their feelings of inadequacy." So what's the takeaway? Sometimes when you follow God, things get worse before they get better. Sometimes your spirit will be broken. Sometimes the people you're trying to help won't even listen. And sometimes you will feel completely and utterly inadequate for the task. But Exodus 6 teaches us that God as planned doesn't depend on our perfect performance or our unwavering faith. It depends on his character, on his promises, on his identity as I am. When you're in that dark place, when your prayer is just a why, Remember his response to Moses. He doesn't just fix the problem instantly. He first reveals himself, reminding us that he is the God who says, "I will." And his "I will" is more powerful than any Pharaoh, any hardship, and even our own broken spirit.